Here we go.
Far walk.
It is a far walk. And I don't want to walk shaking the GoPro around. So I'll show a shot of it here and there. Oh, there's a lot of vines in that old oak tree. Look at the underbrush. And like Zach said, there's a break in there. Looks like it's been that way for a long time, and I don't know what did that, but there it is. Yeah, this looks like it ought to be part of the Smith Hollow. Well, we're just going to meander around here, see what we run into. My great-grandfather lived right out to the left there, through the trees. And my grandfather actually lived there, but the story was about I think my great-grandfather, his dad. And that was that he used to be a fox hunter. Hunted foxes at night by himself. Double barrel 12 gauge. What'd you say?
Ain't good.
What?
Did it by yourself?
Oh. Yeah, it's not too good of an idea. But there's an old log cabin on the ridge up here where a couple Indians used to live. And it has since fallen down. But looks like something blazed that tree right there. I don't know what that is on that tree. See that?
Yeah.
Anyway, he was a whittler. He liked to whittle. And I heard the story, an old tale he used to say, was that he was out hunting fox on this ridge here above the Smith Hollow, and one night, and he reached out to break a twig off, a little limb off of a bush, and realized that he wasn't able to reach it. He wasn't quite close enough to it. So as he was scanning the area, he just absent-mindedly took a step closer toward it so he could break it, and he still couldn't feel it with his hand, so he turned to it and looked right at it, and it seemed like it was further away than when he first started. So he was kind of taken aback by that. Tree seemed more distant than it was before, so he was going to step up much closer to it while he was looking at it when it started swaying back and forth. So at that point he stepped back away from it to see the thing even more full, and stepped back and looked at it, and it was swinging from left and right, he said, and it got to be swinging so violently that it was almost touching the ground on each side. And he looked down, and there was a woman sitting underneath it holding a baby. He said it was such a shocking thing for him to see that he turned and left and just got away from there. Looks like we're going to have to walk under a tree bend to get out of here, huh? And look at that gnarly old tree behind you there. Wow.
Lord of the Rings.
Huh?
There's something off from Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah. Hey, would you walk up and stand under the very middle of that? I want to see how tall, how high that tree bend is. That's almost 3 of you, which would be about 18 feet. Huh. Okay. I'm coming. Loosen it, Zach. It might spring up. I don't know. It's been there a while. Huh? How can that be? That one fell from the other side. You know what I'm saying? That one fell from the other side of this clearing. It couldn't have grabbed the whole of the top of that one and pulled it down. Is that what's holding it? Around to the root ball and look at this thing and see if it just fell straight over, or did it not? Maybe it didn't grow there, because there's another little tree standing there. If you stood this tree up, is that where this tree grew?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay, good. Huh. Didn't reach over across the other side and catch the top of this one and pull it down. This one grew straight up over there. This one, look, it could only reach that far. This one was brought down and put under here. Look at that horizontal thing laying there. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of woven between all of them.
It's like you're going into a different dimension.
I don't know how this happened. This would be a good place to sit, watch for deer if you was deer hunting. You got 3 different runs coming into this confluence right here. see straight ahead of us,
Yeah.
right into those woods. If you go all the way down to the bottom and up the other side to hit the road, if you went right on the road, made a right-hand turn, you'd only go about 200 yards and you'd come to a house. And the folks that lived in there watched a mother black bear and 2 cubs come from that distance way over there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And come down by their house, crossed over the road, come up over this ridge, and they went down into Smith Hall. Yeah. And remember I told you when I was fox hunting one night, I was waiting on Brian to come up out of the ditch so we could get in the car and go. And that black bear ran across the road that was above the ditch and jumped down into the ditch where he was, probably 30 feet from him, and he didn't even know it until I yelled. Well, that's where that black bear would have come out at if it went into the Smith Hollow right here. If it came up over there and went into here and went all the way through the Smith Hollow, you know, at its own pace, not just trying to get out, but I mean, if it was spending some time in here and that night decided to move out, it would come out down there at Ceylon by that ditch where Brian was down in there. When it jumped in, that's where it would come out. I might have to start bringing my 44 with me. I've never been afraid in the woods.
Yeah, you just have to be protected.
Well, I mean, I just don't have any fear in the woods. I've never felt like I was alone either. I felt like there was a presence in here.
Like you wanted to be in here.
Yeah. I do want to be in here. I like it in the woods. This seems basic and primal and sensible. Nature does.
If we would have came up here, and right there, and passed through here, went to another dimension.
Do you think we did?
No, like, if we...
I don't think so. I think it's possible. Yeah, I mean that there's that evidence of the Mandela effect. Kind of supports the idea of being maybe an infinite number of realities, and our timeline could swing back and forth between a couple of them as we go through life. And some people
Don't come back.
huh? Some people don't come back. No. They stay in the one they're in. They're there. Well, it's hard to tell. Sentient life is amazing. When you stop to think that something is not only alive, but it knows it's alive. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine that as far as matter is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Something that has weight, takes up
Us.
space. Yeah, us. Physical. But imagine sentient life that is aware of itself. It's alive and knows it is. But it's composed of energy instead of matter. That could be what spirit is. Living energy. And we had one famous scientist, old Albert Einstein. Basically, he said that energy and matter are 2 forms of the same thing. If you speed matter up to the speed of light, that it would go out in a burst of light, it would become energy. And if you could somehow slow the vibration of energy down, matter would coalesce out of it and you'd have a lump of something hit the floor. So how come one of them can have consciousness and not the other, when they're actually two forms of the same thing? Did you hear something behind you there? I did. I don't know what it was. Anyway, let's walk on out to our left here. I'm pretty sure that we're still in the same dimension that we was in, Zach, when we walked up here. I think that's a wild cherry tree, Zach. And as you say, that's a bow behind it there. Grab it, see if it's hooked to the ground. Pick it up. Put it back. Put it back where it was. What the heck? It's not. How come it don't lean on the tree? What's holding it straight up? It should fall over toward the big tree.
It was in the ground.
Okay. Don't be calling these trees any names today. I got a guy from halfway around the world wanted to know if there was somebody calling. He heard a voice, you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Said, "You stooge. That was you. You were hollering at the trees." Don't do that. But show me what you see here. Oh, I see it from here. An X. Okay, I'm coming. Oh. There's a right-of-way there, huh? That's okay. Let's step out on that. Well, that is still living there, I guess.
Yeah.
That one in the middle, I don't know if that's grown up out of there or if it's dead. Yeah, big one. Not that one, that big one in the middle. Yeah, it's probably growing there.
This one?
Yeah, that's the main one everything's held on to. Now what is that? Oh. Some skinned, some not. One's still growing. There's a bend. It was, look, the thing that was growing is bent over and got dead ones laying on top of it. Piled up there holding it down. Yoy. Well, I tell you, you get anywhere around the Smith Hollow, you get into that enchanted forest stuff, briars and bushes, vines. Well, did you get your stuff put away?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Oh, alrighty.